Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here today with my brand new series for the month of November. This is going to be Folio Friday. How fun is that? I love making mini albums. I love making folios. Folios are quicker than mini albums, but yet they still have the same wow effect. So we're going to do a different folio every Friday this month. So I came up with this idea because I made this little folio, I want to say either in August or September, and it had a waterfall, a small waterfall, and then it had a waterfall that was in this direction, and then it had an accordion inside as well that pulls out. So I was like, you know what, I could probably do a folio with each one of these elements by itself. And that's kind of how this series came about. So week one is going to be waterfalls. This paper collection I'm using Cartabella Merry Christmas. Here's the sticker sheet. It's a little wild. This wasn't my favorite Cartabella. Excuse me. I'm usually in love with everything Cartabella does. This one, it took a little while to get used to. I don't know if it's because of the blues or I don't know. But here's my folio. Here's the front. I used some sticker banners from the sticker sheet. Here's the back. And ta-da! Look at this, guys. It's crazy busy because that's just the paper. But I have room for 4x6 pictures and 3x4 pictures, or you can do 2x3. It holds a lot in this little tiny little folio. Okay, so definitely pause the video. I want you to prep all of your paper according to the cutting guide. The cutting guide is correct because I've already prepped 2 more of these. And made sure the measurements and everything were typed correctly, which they are. So go ahead and pause and prep, and then we'll put it together. Put it together, right? But first, let's take a look at the album, just so you can kind of see the paper collection. When it comes to waterfalls, some people love to keep the paper just on the front and not put pictures. But you always have the option to do this. Put your 4x6 picture here, and then you can put your smaller pictures here if you like. So that way you can still see that paper, and you can add more pictures. So it's your preference how you want to do that. So I'll just kind of show you, and I did the blue snowflakes, I think throughout all of them. So this fits a full uncut 4x6, and it still has a little bit of a border. Now the only thing with these fancy corners, I didn't think this through. So if you are going to sell these at a craft fair, you may want to keep the corners either just round or just pointed, because not everyone is going to have that same punch. And, you know, it's going to look a little weird because you'll see the points on the other side. If you want to do the fancy punches, you know, maybe, I don't know, sell the punch with it. I don't know. So there you go. And then here's that last page. So this did have like a little design, but you can't really see anything. So that's fine. And then here's the bottom. You still have a full space for a 4x6 picture. You can cut it down if you want to keep that border. You can put your 3x4, whatever you want under there, a journaling card, whatever you want. Same thing here. You can keep the paper wild and crazy with nothing on it, or add your pictures in, right? However you want. Maybe add those little 1.5 by 1.5 pictures you get from like picture day And you still have your room here. Where's a vertical 3x4? This is a little bit bigger than 3x4, but it will fit a 3x4. Actually, it fits this one perfectly. That's 3¼ by 4¼ But like if you wanted to tell a whole story, you absolutely can. Like you can put this here and say, we went to see Santa, then hopped on a plane to South Africa. You know, journal with your pictures. The matting here is just the opposite of this side. So it's the same paper, just opposite. Like that Santa's there, so on and so forth. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make this. Now, earlier when I was creating these, I was obsessed with chipboard, and so these are gonna be chipboard albums, okay? I get on these crazes, and I have a love-hate relationship with chipboard. All right, so you're gonna go ahead and prep everything. So your 2 pieces of chipboard, and you know what, I'm gonna pull up the cutting guide as I'm talking to you, so that way I know 100% it is going to be correct. Okay, and I do want to warn you that these do take a lot of paper. I wanted to be able to get a full 4x6 picture because that's mainly the size picture I have from when Corey was a baby. So I wanted to have 4x6 pictures. It takes a lot of paper, okay? I use 12x12 paper, and for all 4 folios, I used 25 sheets, thereabouts. Obviously, that's a rough estimation. I'm pretty sure I used almost the whole pack of paper doing all 4 albums. So I have already pre-made all 4 albums just to kind of give you an idea of how much paper you're going to need. Like I said, I use 12x12, so I don't know how much that will be in your 8.5 by 11 paper. It's probably going to be more. So keep that in mind when you're making all 4 of these this month, all right? Okay, so my chipboard should have 2 pieces at 7x7. So 7x7, perfect. 1 piece at 3/4 by 7. Perfect. I should have 6 flaps that are 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. And these are scored on the short side at 1/2 inch. And they all are. Put your tape on the dented side. What I mean by that is when you score, you have the indentation and then you have the raised, and that's called the bumpy side. So put it on the indentation side, like the dented side. I learned that from Kathy Orderkeep. Full disclosure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can glue. For me personally, taping is a lot easier. And also, if you put the tape in the wrong place, I have undo, and it will undo that tape. So I've shared with you guys the undo before, but here it is again. It's just an adhesive remover, and it removes, as you can see, I've been using a lot of it doing these folios. You know, just trying to design them and where I wanted things. So it doesn't ruin your paper, and you can remove your paper and the tape is still sticky. So you're not wasting paper, you're not wasting tape. So that's why I taped. But you can glue. All right, then I should have 12, which are 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, scored on the long side at 1/2, which they are. Again, put your tape on the dented side, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, perfect. You can absolutely do this folio without the chipboard. I think my first 2 weeks are with chipboard and my last 2 weeks are without. So it's really up to you. Here is what we're making again. Now, I'm going to use, well, in the description box, I have where it says optional piece of Tyvek, which is 4x7. That's just to keep your, to keep your spine, the gusset between your spine and your chipboard cover. That's just to keep it so it doesn't rip. Because I did put a full 1/4 inch in between those two, and I just didn't want that to rip out. So that's what I did. You don't have to use Tyvek. You can use your cardstock if you want to. You can use the tape, the P3 tape, or that's Kathy's specific tape, or any tape you have. You can do that too. All right, let's put this together. If you're going to use the Tyvek, it is a piece that is, mine's 4x7. You can do 4x7 piece of cardstock, whatever you want. That's just to, you know, put the chipboard in there. All right, let me find some tapes. Where's my big tape? There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an inch score tape on my, so people cover theirs differently. I do it differently every single time. Where's my, here it is. So you can cover your Tyvek in tape, or you can put the tape on your chipboard, however you want to do it. Or if you're choosing not to use chipboard, then it's just going to be cardstock, and you're just going to use all cardstock. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and peel off here. And I'm just going to attach that to my Tyvek. Yes, this is probably a weird way to do it, but I embrace my weirdness. Okay. There. Now, what I did was I took my 1/4 inch score tape. There we go. And I put that right up against my chipboard. Okay. And then I actually put the score tape on my spine. I'm using my score tape as a spacer. Where is my 3/8 of an inch score tape? Okay, I thought I was prepared. Apparently I am not. Okay, I have no idea where I put my score tape. So I just had to get a new roll. But I mainly use 3/8 of an inch. Occasionally I use the 1/4 inch and the 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Make sure that's on there. And oh, I didn't varnish that very well. And this one. Yeah, I don't know what that, if y'all heard that crashing noise, I don't know what it was that was in the hallway. I'm not investigating. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put this right up against that 1/4 of an inch score tape. Varnish that in. We're gonna get our 1/4 inch again, and we're gonna place that right up against your spine. There we go. And then we're gonna add more tape to this. it's going to be more than an inch. I think on the original one, I actually measured it out so it was equal on both sides, but it don't matter. You just need those hinges is all I'm looking for. Let me see how much is left. Okay. Oh my gosh, I couldn't find the end. And I'm just going to put this at the end. Again, you can use your tape, your glue if you want to. Oh, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know glue on Tyvek. So let me not say that. I might be lying to you. Maybe you have to use tape on Tyvek. I don't know. I definitely know tape works, so, oh my gosh. Peel that off, make sure there's no overhang, which I have a lot of. And then I'm going to peel the back off here. No overhang, and I'm going to go ahead and add that directly to that 1/4 of an inch square tape. Okay, so there's our base, right? I just be using anything. It's fine, like mine, my Tyvek didn't go all the way to the top. I don't know what I did. It's fine. As long as your book is fairly even, you are good to go. Oh, mine's perfectly even. Look at me. Okay, so now you need to determine if you want to, how you want to, hold on, I'm about to have a landslide. There we go. How you want to proceed with your cover. Now, the way the cover is, and what we typically would do is wrap the edges, take 2 pieces of designer paper, pattern paper, connect it in the middle, and then wrap the book. So I wanted to forego that step because I was being lazy. And then I remembered why we do that step. It's so you don't have these raw edges, right? And then I had so much extra bulk because I wanted to put the paper here and I had the paper on the back, and it was just a lot of extra bulk. So it doesn't look horrible, and to the untrained eye, this paper is so busy, you're not even going to notice that. But for me, I do. And then the raw edges, right? So you definitely want to wrap your paper. You can do it the old school way where, like I said, you take 2 12 by 12 sheets of paper, you connect them in the middle, or you connect them and then you wrap it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it in tape just because I'm learning how to use the tape. You can use masking tape. You can use Kathy orders P3 tape, but it goes out of stock all the time. I use this cloth tape. It's just called cloth tape. I bought it in town here. It's kind of like, I don't want to say duct tape, but it's kind of between duct tape and masking tape. So I'm going to wrap mine. And I really don't know what I'm doing wrapping with the tape. I just do it. All right, so I'm going to show you just a couple of sides of this, and then we're going to put the album together because we're already at 18 minutes and we haven't done anything other than make our covers. The rest of it's going to go pretty quick. But if you're doing the tape like me, this is what you're going to do. Actually, we're going to take the paper out of the insides here, the backing. Because I have some overhang and I definitely don't want that to be a factor in anything. There we go. I'm going to bring my book down and I'm going to place my book roughly here. Pull it in the middle and then start over here. Pull it towards the gusset. So that way your funky little bend piece is in your gusset and not over here, which I did not do a very good job. All right, so we're pulling tight and we're smoothing, bringing any bubbles or anything like that to your gap. There we go, perfectly smooth. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing with the bottom. And again, you can old school cover it. Any video covering a mini album, I have a ton of them. You can do it. Okay. And then we're gonna tape this one. And then I will do, oh, I did it too short. I will do the other two sides. I'm gonna do the other sides off camera because we're already at 20 minutes. So let me tape everything. Okay, and because I wasn't on camera, my taping took less than 5 minutes and it's perfect. But I do wanna show you this. Because my tape is not big enough to go on all three pieces, my front cover, my spine, and my back cover, I just did half, and now I'm gonna do the other half. The other folios aren't gonna have this much wahala or drama. It's just, like I said, when I designed it, I was in a chipboard mood. So this is what happens when you have to use chipboard. Because remember when we first started doing folios, we insisted they absolutely had to be chipboard. Cardstock was not strong enough. It had to be chipboard. And then one day we were like, light bulb, cardstock is strong enough. We're fine. I don't care that it wasn't long enough because I'm going to cover it with paper anyway. All right. So look at my corners. Aren't they gorgeous? Because I wasn't on camera. Guys, super proud of myself. All right, now I'm not going to have this ugly, raw edges type thing. And I know, only a crafter that does these folios is going to notice it. This one is actually going to be a gift. I'm going to fill it with pictures. The person I'm gifting it to, they are not going to even look at that. They don't care. But for us crafters, and if you want to sell it, you know, your name is your reputation. So I'm not going to sell anything subpar. All right, now you can decide if you want to go ahead and matte beforehand, which I did for both of these. And I didn't think that through because I don't think I have enough paper in any collection. Let me see what I have. Okay, I'm gonna have to download some digital scrap of paper for the other folios because I'm running out of paper collections. All right, so I'm gonna use Bloom and Grow, and this is by, it just says by Renee Looney. Fancy Pants Designs. I got this as Expo. Alright, and it came with enamel dots and ephemera, which I'm not going to use right now. But, alright, we got super cute. Okay. I don't particularly care for this page, so that's going to be our base page that we're going to hide. This is a great, whenever you're doing folios, the bottom page is a great page to hide the ones you don't particularly care for, because you're going to put everything on top. All right, now you need to decide if you want it all to be the same or you want different, however you want. This one, I did it in 3 different sections. So I put this piece down first, and then I put these 2 pieces on top. And I think I'm going to do that using, yep, I'm going to use this yellow piece on the back. So this should be 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. On my middle piece, I'm going to do 4 by something. Yeah, 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. Okay. And no, I'm not going to map this whole thing on camera, but this part you kind of have to do, or else it's just going to look weird. Okay. And then I'm going to use this piece to go down here, but I'm going to cut this down to 4 inches is fine. Then let me cut my other piece. 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. And I will turn the camera off, I'll mat it, and then I will show you the final version once we're done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down, and then I'm going to put these on top, like so. Okay. Oh no, it caused a landslide. I guess that was correct. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. And because my shiny tape that I have here, you have to use score tape on it. There's no other, you can't put glue on this. Kathy Orta King's P3 tape. It's so amazing that you can put glue, you can glue things on it. I just, I have it, I just don't like to show it because it's always out of stock. And I don't want y'all to get mad at me. This tape you can get at Walmart. It's just a cloth tape, so you can get it by like the duct tape. Or you can use masking tape. That's Kathy's suggestion. If you can't get hold of the P3 tape, use masking tape. This particular tape I have is from where I live now, which is not in the United States. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cover that and get that on there. All right, it's all covered in tape, ready to go down, and we're just going to put it down. I'm just making sure that it's, oh, I forgot. Forgot about my, my spine. That's okay. Hopefully my paper doesn't buckle. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna play with this and get this on correctly. Because when you use tape at this point, you gotta play with it. Because see how it like buckles up and stuff? You have to play with it. Okay. So when you have the glue, the paper's wet, so it's more pliable. When you're doing this part with tape, you really have to make sure that you make your like your score lines, so that way there's no bubbling in your paper, and it just takes me a little while to do it. So I know y'all didn't want to see that on camera. All right, so I'm going to lay this down. Oh, I got something on it. And again, specifically because my tape is a shiny tape, I have to use score tape around my paper. I'm going to use glue in the middle, so I'm going to get these taped up and put on. And this is what mine looks like. It has tape around the perimeter and glue in the middle. So if you wrapped your album the traditional way, this part is not going to take you as long as it's taking me. And I just put that on way wrong. Oh no. This is where your undo comes in, so I can still undo mine. Which, you know what? I'm going to show you on what you call it, on camera. What did I do with my undo? Okay, here it is. Watch this. Here's the little lid thing. I just took mine off. because it's tape now, not the glue. You have to make sure you get that glue up. The tape. You just rub this right on along there. Take the little, oh, you don't even need the little thing. Look at that. Boom. Tape is still sticky. Let this dry. That's why I am loving Undo, and I am taping everything. I'm gonna have to get stock in score tape. But yeah, it's still sticky. You can still use it. You just have to wait for your paper to dry. So I'm just gonna wait for the paper to dry. All right, my paper's dry. It only takes like a minute or two to dry, which I probably could have just left it on camera. But, okay. All right, now I can line it up. So the bad thing about Undo is that you're gonna start undoing everything. You're like, oh, it's a tiny bit crooked, or oh, it's not exactly even. As before, you used to be like, meh, it's fine. All right, now it's perfect. Okay, so if you traditionally wrapped yours, like I was saying, yours will go a lot quicker than mine. But now see how I have a nice smooth edge and not exposed raw edges. And thankfully my chipboard is black and my paper is black, so you can't really tell. But it just looks cleaner when your edge is wrapped perfectly. Okay, so now we are in the middle, good to go. Let's take our 4.25 by 6 and whatever flaps, the big ones. Take the big flaps. Okay, this is where you're going to decide if you want to go ahead and punch the corners or not. This one I'm just going to leave straight. You honestly can punch the corners after it's all said and done if you want to. All right, so we're going to give ourselves a little bit of border if you want. I have to work with my book upside down. And at this stage, because I don't have directional paper, it doesn't matter which is the top, which is the bottom. But if you have directional paper, you really need to figure that out first. And for me to put my stuff down straight, my book has to be slanted. Weird, I know. All right, so that's about where I want it. Varnish it in. Take your next one. The more you varnish these things, the better. You know what? Let me close my Undo. The other day, I didn't close my Undo and I wasted so much of it on an album and it took my pages off. All right, so now we're just going to go right up against this, and I like to stick down just a little tiny bit of the corner just to make sure that it's lined up, which it's not. So sometimes I don't know why your waterfalls do this. I just didn't cut right. Okay, come on. There we go. All right. That one is slightly longer than the other one, but okay, so let's go ahead and varnish again, and we're going to do the same thing until they're all done. Here we go. Line it up. For me, I don't mind. I just stick it down, to be honest. Varnish it. It looks good. I have seen people work with it. They start from the bottom and go to the top. That was actually pretty cool to watch. But I can't. I would rather have a bigger gap at the bottom than the top, and so I start from the top. But I may try the other method. Not today, but on a different day. And yes, my cardstock all came from the same pack, but it's like different colors black. I don't know why. Okay, so you're just gonna keep going until you have all of them on there. Which I might as well do these last two with you on camera. And then you're going to go ahead and mat them however you want. I suggest when you buy, if you use Cardabella, get the solids pack because those make for nice waterfalls. All right, so there's that. Okay, last one. And this side is done. And then you're honestly just going to put the other side together exactly. This one's really crooked. So again, I could have used my undo and took that off, but I was able to just fix it. See how it's not even on the bottom because something went crooked. So I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me. If it does bother you, pull out your undo and figure it out. All right, so we're gonna move over to the other side in just a sec. I had to get my rice out the rice cooker. I don't like when it gets crunchy, like too crunchy on the bottom. Anyway, okay, so it's the same exact method on the right-hand side. It's just obviously you have two. And so here's where you may want to do a little bit of measuring. If you're that particular. I am not that particular today. Some days I am, but not today. And that's where I want them. That's it. And I'm gonna even work from the top down. Nope, I can't work from the top. Have to flip my book over. All right, now what did I say? We wanted it about here. I'm gonna move it down just a little bit because I do kind of want it to match as best as I can with that. I left a big border on that, didn't I? Okay, well, here we go. I'm not gonna overthink it, just going for it. And I'm gonna go for this one too. Peel your backing off, make sure you don't have any overhang, and place that where you think it should fall. Which I think about there is perfect. Ha, look at that, I lined them up. Ooh, look at me. All right, so now you're just going to do the exact same thing. You're just going to fold, varnish, remove backing, check for overhang, line it up, stick it down, fold, varnish, remove backing, check for overhang, line it up, and oh, that is not lined up. Okay, I gotta work. I gotta turn my book. I don't know why I keep thinking I don't have to. Varnish down. That's it. So you're going to continue with your other flaps until you're at the very bottom. Okay, so they're all in there, and the more you varnish your flaps, the more they will lay down. These do not have magnets. It's just the paper, the weight of the paper helps lay it down. You can add magnets if you want to, but this book, I don't think you need magnets at all. Just varnish these individually, go back through and, you know, varnish it. See how that's already laying better just by a few little extra varnishing, right? And the weight of the paper, again, will just hold those down. So this album would be great for if you have your child's pictures from 1st grade to 12th grade, because you have 12 here. You do some baby pictures. over here if you want, or you can do 6 4x6 and 6 4x6 on both sides, and you can use Echo Park's a day, is it called a day in a life or a month in the life or something like that? It has like the months of the year, and you can do that as well. So this little book has so many options, so many opportunities, so much space for photos. I'm going to go ahead and mat this off camera, and then I will show you guys the final for this one. And then next week we'll have a different folio. And this is how I matted it. There aren't any like cut aparts or anything with this collection, but it had like all this ephemera. So I just made like a little scene on the front. And then here are all of our waterfalls. I did add this strip in the middle because I just did not like this color yellow. So I wanted to kind of hide it as much as I could. I did put the yellow strips in between. And somehow they look better there than they do here, but I put pink in here. So super cute. So just changing the paper can completely change the look of any folio. I can't put them both in the frame, but see? So super easy folio, a lot of room for photos. Definitely wrap your book either old school style or new school with the tape. It just looks cleaner. The profile I think is better to me, my honest opinion. But yeah, hope you guys like this folio. Tag me if you make it. Thanks for watching. Bye.